Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Mitch from We in Tennessee. And today is a very interesting video. Bear with me through the story. So if you remember Sunday's video, I was at Beale Park in Louisville. And this is the interesting part. Stay with me on this. I was ready to leave the park and I saw a woman walking her dog. No problem. And let me give you a little bit of background on this. Doesn't matter where I am. I want to be, in fact, I think I have a fear of being a creepy guy. I don't want to even have somebody think that I'm a creepy guy. When I go to the store and my wife is shopping and she's got her list and I'm just along to, be company, I find myself getting in the way and then I feel like I'm creepy. Like, hey, why is this guy not shopping and why is he just standing around? I don't want to be the creepy guy. And so when I watch this woman walk by with her dog, I'm like, okay, I don't want to be the creepy guy. So I just said, hey, beautiful day, isn't it? And she was like, oh yeah. And you mentioned to talk about how it's been super cold and she just needed her dog to get out because of cabin fever. And I'm like, yeah, it has been really cold. And I don't want to be the creepy guy and I don't want this woman to be fearful of me. And I don't know if that's a California thing or if that's just a guy thing. I don't know. And so I could have extended the conversation even more, but I was like, no, I don't want to be the creepy guy. I don't want to follow this woman. I don't want to, because she was walking along the dog path and I'm heading towards my car. And so I'm just like, have a good day. I'll, have a good one. And she said the same thing back. And I don't know what it was, but I just kept thinking about it. Like, it almost appeared like she was disappointed that I didn't keep talking to her. I don't know if it was me, and I'm not, trust me, I'm not thinking like, hey, you want to talk to this guy. It just felt like she wanted to say more and I was just like, have a good one. And so I'm just thinking, and again, I'm thinking out loud here, in Tennessee, or is it just standard for women all across the spectrum here? Do women feel threatened when it's just them and another male somewhere out? I mean, I'm trying to think if there was anybody else there at that time. I know there was a family riding bikes. I know there were other dog walking people. But, if it was just me and this other woman, do women feel threatened like, hey, don't come close to me, don't say anything to me? Or, could it have been a Tennessee thing where it's like, hey, I'm comfortable no matter who this person is? Or am I just too old to be looked as a threat? I don't know. It's just weird to have all these thoughts in my head. Like, and this is one of those cases where I wish it was like that movie where, they can hear everybody's thoughts. I was just curious, am I a threat to this person? Did this person see me as no threat and wanted to keep talking to me? So I don't think this is going to be my, woman episode. But women, definitely feel free to chime in on this one. If you're walking alone with your dog or just by yourself and there's another man, what is your first reaction? Obviously, the way the person looks might be, an issue. Like, you look like you're dangerous. But what is your thoughts when you encounter a male walking and you're away from, a lot of other people? Do you feel threatened? Are you confident? Like, hey, I can handle myself. I'm a very outgoing person. I'll talk to anybody. I'm curious to know what your reaction would have been if you see this guy walking your dog and, I just say, hey, beautiful day, right? I don't know if, again, I don't want to come across as creepy, so I don't know where I'm going with this conversation. Let me know if you think you know what I'm talking about down in the conversation or the comment section. All right, guys, since the time change, this is what it looks like now on my drive to work. At least it's not pitch black. I can see some of the, blue sky peeking through above the clouds. Whereas last week it was completely dark because, we're pretty deep into fall. And so, I don't know, I just thought it would be a lot brighter. I think it's probably because of these clouds. But this is what it looks like now after the time change. So, I'll take it. It's a lot easier to see. And, yeah, it's just funny. It makes you feel like you're late when, you're just switching back the time an hour. So, there you go. Okay, guys, I will end with this. Woo! I'm dealing with some sun that I'm not used to dealing with. How are you guys doing with the time change, by the way? It felt like my students were a little off this week, and even my own kids felt like they were a little off, and the week was a little rough after the time change. How are you guys doing with the time change where you are living? It's Wednesday, so it's I don't know. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of time, but I'm not a big fan of it getting dark so soon. You just feel like you're a little extra tired. And I don't know. Other than that, I think I'm adjusting okay. But let me go ahead and end with this. Last week, our school got notified of a bank robbery downtown. Now, we're pretty far from downtown, so we weren't necessarily locked down. I think schools that were closer to downtown were locked down, but it just made me think, who in their right mind is going to try to hold up a bank in Maryville, Tennessee, or any bank in Tennessee? I'm just thinking most people are carrying, well, maybe not on them, but a lot of folks are, it's open carry. And I'm just thinking, who is going to go into a bank, and what are your odds of getting away with it? Number one, the guy was by himself, so there's one strike against you. And again, in Tennessee, where the odds are a whole lot greater that someone is going to be armed and take you out, I don't know. It just seemed very unwise to me to try to hold up a bank in Tennessee, let alone our town here. And so it just made me go, man, what is going on with folks? I guess anybody can get desperate enough to try to do that. But it was CBBC Bank, and they were apprehended with no issues, and that's what I kind of expected. So I don't know, some other cities might take a note of this, that when you have this type of gun control where folks can actually protect themselves and others, you're going to hopefully get less crime. And it shows. Here we just don't see crime like we do in other cities. Knock on wood. And so I'm leaving you with a fact that for those of you considering to move Tennessee, and that's a huge item on a lot of people's lists because they're coming from places like New York, California, where you just don't feel safe. And it's just been the last 5 years where, again, those policies, we won't mention whose they are, just allow folks to get away with a lot of things. I was going to say murder, and that's probably true, but it just feels like you can't go anywhere and not feel safe because of the revolving door of criminals and how light they are on them. And out here, it just feels safer, like something's going to happen to the person that's committing this crime if they continue to do what they're doing. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to wait until it's not Wednesday yet as the recording of this video, so I know I was supposed to give it till the 8th. So on Sunday, we shall announce the winner of the We in Tennessee Fall Photo Contest. So stay tuned to see who's going to win that. It's looking like a landslide, but hey, anything can happen, right? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in Sunday's video.